Ladies, I'm going on my 4th breast surgery in less than 2 years. I'm emotionally exhausted, so sit back, grab a drink, and let me tell you a little story. I first got my breast done, 485 cc's, saline, and this was probably in like 2007. One day I literally woke up and I was like, you know what? I want them bigger and I want silicone. So I scheduled the surgery and did that. So I went up to 700 cc's of silicone. A few months later, I started noticing something happening to my right breast, only the right breast, but I wasn't sure what it was. One day, my little sister was at my house, and I said to her, I took my shirt off, I said, why did my breast look so different? Why does one look like a completely different boob? So she kind of touched it and looked at it, and she was like, I think you have capsular contracture on your right boob. And sure enough, that's what it was. For those of you who don't know what that is, it is your body's defense system noticing that there is something foreign in your body, and it starts building like this hard tissue around it, and that tissue causes the implant to be really hard and really high. So one boob was up here and one boob was down here. So scheduled surgery, went in to see the same surgeon, had I believe it's called a capsulectomy, I may be saying that wrong, and everything was fine. So I thought. A few months later, I noticed it happened again. Same breast. So this time I'm like, okay, let's do something different. That different thing that I did was just found a new surgeon. I went to a surgeon in Tampa and she came up with this whole plan, and she was gonna put some mesh in and do all of these things. And yeah, I had surgery again in December of 2022. This time I went to 650 instead of 700 cc's. I was in Atlanta in May. This was 5 or 6 months after my surgery, and I was asleep with no bra on, and when I woke up, the right breast implant had completely flipped, and you could tell it just looked so weird. The surgeon, by way of pictures, did confirm that the implant actually did flip, and I gave advice on how I could flip it back. You guys, my sister and I was in the bedroom on the floor flipping this implant, and it was one of the most traumatic things I've ever done. I will tell you about the most traumatic thing that I've done in this story time. So, breast implant flipped back to the right side. I went on about my day and my trip, and everything was fine. And then it started to come back. It was almost like the trauma of the boob flipping and me flipping it back caused my capsular contracture to come back. So a month later, it started getting hard and high again. If you do research on this condition, you come to understand that the more surgeries that you have to fix it, the more likely it is to return. I knew that me getting new breast implants, that there was a high probability of it capsulating again. So did some research and found a company that does ultrasound therapy and massage of the boob in hopes of kind of like loosening up the capsule and letting the boob soften and fall. The massaging part of it was one of the most painful things I've ever done in my life. It was so traumatic. And because I was already at a stage 3 of my capsular, meaning it was really hard and really tight and really high, it was kind of a lost cause for me, but I just went in as a last resort before I did the final thing that I can do. I have to get them taken out. I should have just left them alone. There was nothing wrong with them, nothing. I can't believe I'm on this app crying, but like, it has been really, really hard. So much pain and discomfort, and just me being so self-conscious about it. So now I'm doing research on doctors who are really good with explants, someone who can fix the capsule and then give me a lift. It is so important before you do anything that you know the risk involved, and you always, I know that I did this, you always hear them telling you these things, but you don't think it can happen to you until it does. Another thing is capsular contracture. They will have you think, oh, it's just a very small percentage of women that this happens to, and it's not true. It's not true. I just wanted to share, ladies, stop doing the most like I did. Learn from me and learn from my mistakes. And if it's not broke, don't fix it. Just leave it alone.